like Breanna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu has broken their silence about this massacre they team just had.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all doing great. Today, I have another exciting and action-packed video for you. If you're a fan of the WNBA, Caitlin Clark, and the latest basketball news, you're definitely going to want to watch until the very end because today's story is one you won't want to miss. Without wasting any more time, let's jump right into it. The Indiana Fever delivered a stunning statement with a dominant 108-88 victory over the New York Liberty. What started as a competitive and closely contested matchup quickly turned into a one-sided affair as Indiana completely took control in the second half. The Fever's relentless offense, combined with their defensive intensity, left the defending champions searching for answers. After the game, however, it wasn't just the final score that had everyone talking. The Liberty Stars offered remarkably honest comments about Caitlin Clark's performance, leaving little room for debate about the impact she had on the contest. Their post-game remarks reflected genuine respect for Clark's outstanding play and acknowledged the difference she made throughout the game. Now we'd love to hear your opinion. Were you surprised by how gracious the Liberty players were in defeat, or do you think they were simply being diplomatic during their post-game interviews? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. If you're enjoying the content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more WNBA news and basketball updates. Believe it or not, more than 93% of our viewers still haven't subscribed. It's completely free, takes just a second, and it helps support the channel more than you know. So, have you subscribed yet? If you have, thank you. We truly appreciate your support. Thank you so much for your incredible support. We truly appreciate every single one of you. Now, let's get back to the video. What Caitlin Clark delivered against the New York Liberty may have been one of the greatest individual performances in women's basketball history. She wasn't facing just any opponent. She was going up against a team that opened the season with a perfect 9-0 record and entered the game as the defending WNBA champions. Yet Clark completely took over, putting on a performance that fans will be talking about for years. The shots she made throughout the game were simply unbelievable. Time after time, she knocked down deep three-pointers and difficult shots that very few players, regardless of league, would even attempt. It was the kind of performance that left fans, analysts, and even her opponents in disbelief. In fact, there are NBA superstars who rarely put together a shooting display as spectacular as the one Clark produced in this game. When greatness is recognized by other great players, it carries even more meaning. That's exactly what happened after this matchup. But before we get to those reactions, it's important to understand the context behind this incredible performance. The New York Liberty entered the game sitting comfortably at the top of the standings. As the reigning WNBA champions and owners of a perfect 9-0 record, they were widely expected to handle an Indiana Fever team that had struggled during Caitlin Clark's absence. Clark had missed 5 games while recovering from injury, leaving many wondering whether she would immediately return to her best. Instead, she answered every question in emphatic fashion, delivering a masterclass that completely changed the game and reminded everyone why she is considered one of the brightest stars in basketball. After missing several games with an injury, Caitlin Clark wasted no time reminding everyone why she is one of the biggest stars in professional basketball. She finished with 17 points, 7 assists, and a highlight reel that could easily fill an entire documentary. Every possession seemed to produce another spectacular moment, and her return gave the Indiana Fever exactly the spark they needed. What made the performance even more impressive was the reaction from the New York Liberty. Instead of making excuses or looking for reasons behind the loss, stars Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart openly acknowledged Clark's brilliance. They gave credit where it was deserved, showing the kind of respect that great competitors have for one another. Speaking after the game, Sabrina Ionescu admitted that the Fever made key shots during their runs and praised Clark's incredible shooting ability. She noted that Clark's range is exceptional and that her ability to create and knock down difficult shots, even under defensive pressure, is truly impressive. Sabrina also pointed out that the Liberty allowed Clark too many open looks, something a player with Clark's talent will almost always take advantage of. Perhaps the most meaningful part of Sabrina's comments wasn't about the shooting itself. It was the fact that she said she was genuinely happy to see Clark back on the court healthy after missing several games. That wasn't simply a routine post-game compliment. It reflected sincere respect for a fellow competitor and recognition of what Clark brings to the game. Sabrina's honesty was especially significant because she is widely regarded as one of the greatest shooters in WNBA history. When a player with her reputation praises someone else's shooting range and shot-making ability, people listen. She understands how difficult those shots are, which makes her praise carry even greater weight. Breanna Stewart took a similar approach. As a multiple-time champion and MVP, she could have focused on missed opportunities, officiating, or the Liberty's own mistakes. Instead, Stewart accepted that Indiana was simply the better team that night. Her response reflected the mindset of a true champion, giving credit to an opponent who earned it rather than searching for excuses. The mutual respect between Clark and the Liberty Stars was evident throughout the game and afterward. Even in the middle of an intense competition, there were moments that showed the admiration elite players have for one another. Those interactions served as another reminder that greatness recognizes greatness, regardless of which team comes away with the victory. Throughout the game, Breanna Stewart's body language told its own story. One of the most memorable moments came when Caitlin Clark buried a deep three-pointer from near the logo. Instead of reacting with frustration or disbelief, Stewart smiled as she watched the shot fall. It was the reaction of a player who recognized she had just witnessed something extraordinary, even if it came at her team's expense. Reflecting on the game afterward, Stewart acknowledged that the Liberty had opportunities to fight back. She noted that New York made several runs and briefly regained momentum, but every time they seemed ready to close the gap, Indiana responded with another big play. She also admitted that the Liberty suffered too many defensive breakdowns, allowing the Fever to knock down 17 three-pointers on 35 attempts. Against a team shooting that efficiently, she explained, it became almost impossible to recover. Those defensive lapses weren't simply the result of poor execution. They were largely created by the pressure that Caitlin Clark puts on opposing defenses. Her ability to shoot from well beyond the three-point line forces defenders to pick her up much earlier than they normally would, stretching the defense and creating open opportunities for her teammates. The Liberty found themselves caught in an impossible situation. Focus too much on Clark, and Indiana's other shooters get clean looks. Give Clark any space at all, and she makes you pay. That reality makes the post-game comments from Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu even more meaningful. Throughout the season, there has been plenty of discussion about rivalries involving Clark and other WNBA stars. Yet after this game, neither player tried to fuel that narrative. Instead of making excuses or downplaying Clark's performance, both offered honest assessments and gave credit where it was deserved. The numbers backed up everything they said. Indiana shot the ball with remarkable efficiency from beyond the arc, converting 17 of its 35 three-point attempts. That kind of shooting doesn't happen by accident. Clark's presence constantly attracts multiple defenders, creating open looks for teammates and forcing opponents to make impossible defensive decisions. Stewart also acknowledged that New York felt pressure to keep pace with Indiana's explosive offense. As the Fever continued to score, the Liberty began rushing possessions, forcing shots, and committing costly defensive mistakes. That is the type of impact a true superstar has, not just by scoring points, but by controlling the rhythm and psychology of the entire game. The perspective of Liberty head coach Sandy Brondello reinforced that message. Rather than blaming officiating, injuries, or bad luck, Brondello admitted that Indiana simply executed better and made the plays that mattered most. When a championship-winning coach openly credits the opposing team, it speaks volumes about the quality of the performance. The statistics tell the same story. The Liberty surrendered more than 100 points, including 53 in the first half, to an Indiana team that had struggled offensively during Clark's absence. That wasn't merely a case of poor defense, it was the result of facing a player capable of completely reshaping an opponent's game plan. Sabrina Ionescu's observation that basketball is a game of runs also revealed something important. She wasn't suggesting Indiana got lucky or simply caught fire for a few minutes. Instead, she recognized that the Fever consistently answered every Liberty comeback with another surge of their own, executing their game plan from start to finish. That kind of sustained excellence is what separates a great performance from a fortunate one. Ultimately, the shooting numbers captured the story of the night. Indiana's efficiency from three-point range, combined with Caitlin Clark's ability to command the defense's full attention, created an offensive performance that even the defending champions could not contain. The three-point shooting numbers alone tell the story of this game. While the Indiana Fever knocked down 17 three-pointers, the New York Liberty converted just 20% of their attempts from beyond the arc. That kind of difference isn't simply the result of luck. It reflects the impact of a player who commands so much defensive attention that she creates quality scoring opportunities for everyone around her. Caitlin Clark's presence stretched New York's defense to its limit, allowing the Fever to generate cleaner looks throughout the night. Breanna Stewart's comments about the team's resilience were especially revealing because they showed how much this loss affected the defending champions mentally. The Liberty take pride in playing championship-level basketball, yet they openly admitted they struggled to keep up with Indiana's pace, execution, and offensive rhythm. That level of honesty speaks volumes about the challenge Clark and the Fever presented. The transition game was another area where Indiana completely controlled the contest. The Fever generated 19 fast break opportunities, a dramatic improvement from the offensive struggles they experienced while Clark was sidelined. Her ability to push the tempo, advance the ball quickly, and create scoring chances before the defense gets set completely changed the flow of the game. Stewart acknowledged how difficult the matchup became once the Liberty failed to establish their half-court defense. Without defensive stops, they couldn't slow Indiana's momentum or force the Fever into uncomfortable offensive possessions. Instead, Clark consistently dictated the pace, keeping New York on its heels for most of the night. Sabrina Ionescu also pointed to the importance of transition basketball. She recognized that the Liberty are at their best when defensive stops lead to fast break opportunities and easy baskets. But against Indiana, those opportunities became increasingly rare. Every time the Fever scored, the Liberty were forced to take the ball out of the net and attack against a set defense, disrupting the style of basketball that has made them one of the league's elite teams. That may have been Clark's greatest impact on the game. She didn't just dominate individually or fill the stat sheet. She disrupted the very identity of the defending champions. By controlling the tempo and forcing New York to play on her terms, she took away the strengths that normally make the Liberty so dangerous. The free throw battle highlighted that point even further. Despite earning more trips to the foul line, the Liberty were still unable to match Indiana's offensive efficiency. Stewart admitted that New York simply didn't attack the basket often enough, and part of the reason was Clark's influence on the perimeter. Her ability to stretch the defense created pressure across the entire floor, making driving lanes more difficult to find and forcing the Liberty into lower-quality offensive possessions. When all of those factors are combined, Clark's deep shooting range, her playmaking, Indiana's transition attack, and the defensive attention she demanded, it becomes much easier to understand why the Fever delivered one of their most impressive performances of the season against the defending WNBA champions. One of the most fascinating aspects of this game was the Liberty's constant search for defensive answers. According to the post-game analysis, New York tried virtually everything to slow Caitlin Clark down. They switched defenders, experimented with zone coverage, and even attempted to deny her the ball altogether. Yet none of those adjustments produced the result they were hoping for. When a championship-caliber coaching staff exhausts multiple defensive strategies and still can't contain one player, it says a great deal about that player's impact. Breanna Stewart's comments about the Liberty needing to understand who we are were particularly revealing. As the defending WNBA champions and one of the league's top teams, New York entered the game with every reason to feel confident. But after this loss, there was a clear sense of reflection. It forced the Liberty to ask difficult questions about where they truly stand when every team is healthy and playing at its highest level. The respect shown by Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu carries extra significance because of their experience at the highest levels of basketball. Both have competed on the international stage and faced many of the world's greatest players. When athletes with those credentials praise an opponent's performance, their words carry considerable weight. They understand what elite basketball looks like, and they recognized that they had witnessed something special from Clark. Sabrina's comments about Clark's shot-making ability highlighted an important distinction between being a great shooter and being a truly elite scorer. Plenty of players can make open shots. What separates the best from everyone else is the ability to create difficult opportunities, make the correct decision under pressure, and still knock down shots with defenders closing in. Throughout this game, Clark repeatedly demonstrated exactly that. Stewart also mentioned communication problems on the defensive end, but those breakdowns didn't happen by chance. They were created by Clark's movement, vision, and decision-making. Every possession forced New York's defenders into split-second decisions, and even a brief hesitation often resulted in an open shot or an easy scoring opportunity. That is the kind of pressure only a handful of players in the world can consistently apply. When one player repeatedly puts all 5 defenders in impossible situations, even elite defensive teams begin to look ordinary. That was exactly what happened throughout this matchup. Clark's presence disrupted New York's defensive structure from the opening tip, creating advantages that Indiana continued to exploit. The pace of the game was another major factor. The Liberty typically prefer to control the tempo and dictate how the game is played, but Clark's return completely changed that dynamic. Her ability to push the ball in transition and generate offense early in the shot clock forced New York into a faster style of play, one that clearly favored the Fever. Stewart's acknowledgement of that shift reflected her understanding of just how much Clark influences every aspect of a game. Clark's performance wasn't impressive simply because difficult shots went in. It was impressive because she consistently made the right basketball decisions under pressure. Whether pulling up from deep, finding an open teammate, or attacking a defensive mismatch, she displayed remarkable composure and basketball IQ. That's what separates an outstanding player from a truly elite one. Her return also transformed Indiana's offense almost immediately. Players who had struggled to find rhythm during her absence suddenly looked more confident and comfortable. Better spacing, quicker ball movement, and easier scoring opportunities made the Fever look like a completely different team. Stewart recognized that this wasn't just about Clark's individual talent, it was about how much she elevated everyone around her. Ironically, the Liberty's effort to pressure Clark defensively often created the very opportunities Indiana wanted.